Roger Skinner is in studio right now. Roger, good morning.
Good morning.
Pull that mic nice and close.
Good morning.
And you're on a topic that I know is you, and you're right. This is an extremely important topic, and I don't know what's going on, but people are just forgetting the fact that you're supposed to pull over to the left lane if there is an emergency vehicle or construction or what have you on the right side. It's not happening anymore.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And that's a ticketable. You could get a ticket on that.
Oh yeah, It can be sizable, but it needs to be sizable more.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. What I'm here for is that I do the towing off the New York State Thruway in Herkimer area, and a few weeks ago, about a month ago, a gentleman was killed on the Thruway. My crews were there along with the state workers, taking a vehicle off the road because they had an accident the day before. The gentleman got killed, but the car sideswiped my tow truck and then drove right up the back of my flatbed and flew right over top of my truck.
I did not know that was your you were involved in
He hit
that.
the top of my truck, which stands about 12 feet high, and then flipped over into the thruway.
And killed a worker.
And killed a worker instantly. But what happens is that instantly that happens. And people, I'm going out and I'm preaching this thing about move over.
Yeah.
When you see somebody on the side of the road, whether it's an emergency vehicle or some truck or a car, you don't know when that person's going to walk out. When they're working on the highway, they have just the room for all the trucks were off the road, but you only have 2 feet of leeway. Mm-hmm. So 2 feet is gone instantly.
And I'm going to tell you something. How many times have you seen, or maybe even been involved in yourself, that all of a sudden you become distracted for whatever reason, and you hit the grill there, that whatever that grid is on the road, and boy, you might. Some of these vehicles that are pulled off are that close to the highway.
Yeah, there's only like 12 feet.
Right, especially in some spots. There might even be less.
But please, the distractive. We're in a vehicle today. We have this cell phone. We're on Facebook. We're doing everything. We're not just eating today.
Right.
But the distractive, what happened to that guy, why he did what he did,
nobody knows.
We won't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in jail right now. And but please watch this distraction. And
it's not just on the thruway. It's on all your highways. It's wherever you see it. And it could be just a disabled vehicle, just some person that's pulled off to the side of the road. Get into that left lane.
And if you see a disabled vehicle, call 911, because what happens there, I stopped to help a person last year.
Yeah.
And there was a woman and a kid in that car, freezing. Their car had been disabled. Nobody stopped to help them.
Because you automatically assume, well, someone must have stopped.
Oh, yeah. And I stopped, and we went to McDonald's and got food.
Wow.
That's what we did.
Well, that's a great move. Good for you.
And you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But if you can't stop, and some people should not, call 911. They'll send somebody to help that person.
All right.
I want to also, expand on what you're saying. I've noticed a lot recently, too, that people are not pulling over when emergency vehicles have their lights on and are trying to go down a main road. I mean, people are not pulling over for whatever reason, and it's delaying those emergency vehicles. I've noticed that as well happening. It's just people have totally forgot about it or just don't care anymore.
I was talking to the workers on the thruway,
Yeah.
and they tell me when they shut down a lane, they shut it down 2 miles ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then they have the cones.
And
they go on for 2 miles.
Some of these vehicles are going 80 and 90 miles an hour.
And what people do is they wait until the last cone before they move over.
Oh, you're talking about me now.
And
I'm sorry.
And don't do that.
I am the person that tries to get around it.
When you see an emergency light, move over as soon as you see it.
Yeah. Right. Or you even hear the siren. I mean, it's got to grab your attention today. Joe on the line right now. Joe Load, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Listen, I just had one thing to add to all this is there needs to be more lights on vehicles like tow trucks. You see the police vehicles and the emergency vehicles like fires and ambulance vehicles are really loaded up with lights. And tow trucks, some of them have that one little yellow beacon light that's not even an LED, and they're tough to see. And then here's another thing. Have you noticed that most of the vehicles on the road today, their directional in the rear is red, the same as their brake light or tail light. Now, I don't know when things changed in this country that they went away from that yellow caution signal light, but to see a red light and a brake light together, sometimes it doesn't differentiate what's going on. So
right, you almost
could have their blinker on.
That's interesting because I there are times that you'll see and you'll think, oh, is that an emergency situation? And you realize it was just somebody's car lights or something. Yeah, I don't know, Joe. I'm trying to think back on the old cars.
There was legislation that passed that said that now these auto manufacturers could put the turn signal cautionary lights in the same color as the brake lights.
Were they always, Roger? Hold on, Joe. Were they always? I don't think they were always yellow, though. Were they?
In the state of New York, our emergency lights are yellow.
Well, I'm talking about. He's talking about actually tail lights.
Tail lights
on any car.
I got to tell you, I think back on the old cars.
Lights, but directional lights. The directional lights were always yellow, amber lights.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
that is true. Yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting. All right, Joe.
We're
Okay.
trying to get them to change and put red lights on tow trucks.
On tow trucks.
They won't. It's the law. We can't have
I
red
don't
lights
Because
Yeah.
it's an emergency vehicle.
Well,
Well,
light.
you want to grab attention.
They want to differentiate from
yeah.
a policeman to a tow
Right.
truck.
Okay.
But the trouble is, people don't. They ignore the maintenance guy. He's got a yellow light on his vehicle.
Right.
So do we.
Rick says then there's people running red lights all over the place around New Hartford and the mall and the Route 12 and 8, and then they go through the light and block traffic when the light turns green from the other side. I don't know. We're all in a hurry today. We got to slow down.
Hurry.
Roger Skinner, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
Thank
appreciate
you for
it.
letting me come in.
All right.